I'm Barbara. It is Thursday, August 13th. Pearl is making a small earthquake. Huh? Did I say I'm Barbara? I am. I'm still Barbara. I have to drink a couple drinks of coffee because I had my cod liver oil. But I had another bad night, so I'm feeling sorry for myself, so I'm using cream. Because I do like it best. And I'm tired of talking about how bad I'm sleeping. And now I'm looking at myself and I'm thinking, this plain white top, I should have had big, bold earrings. But I'm not wearing big, bold earrings today. Today I'm wearing the Eye of Horus. I got these in Cairo. Horus is the falcon god. And his eye is considered good luck. So the Eye of Horus is a good luck sign. I don't know if it was considered good luck for ancient Egyptians, but it is considered good luck. These days, you know, the taxi drivers have them in the taxis, that kind of thing. And I was really taken by the Eye of Horus. I should look up Horus and learn more about him. I'm sure I learned about him because we learned about all the gods on our trip. I may be the luckiest person in the world. I mean, I have led such a lucky life. Everybody's healthy. My daughter-in-law works for a different county than that stupid sheriff in Florida, so she's not under that guy, so that's great news. And I have been able to do some wonderful traveling. And 3 years ago, I guess it would be 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago, three years ago. You don't care. 3 years ago, in the fall, 2.5 or 3.5 years ago in the fall, Dennis and I were able to go on a wonderful trip to Israel, Jordan, and Egypt. And it was the first time, and this was also with Overseas Adventure Travel, and this was the first time I had, since we were able to travel, since we were retired and were able to travel, that I had seen them offer Egypt. The thing about Overseas Adventure Travel is they're very careful. They will cancel trips if it's not safe or whatever. And I thought, well, if OAT thinks it's safe to go to Egypt, I want to go. And that was the same year that we went to the Galapagos, which was a big trip. And we were typically doing one big trip a year. And then we sometimes had a small trip, and a small trip meant didn't cost too much and it wasn't too long. You know, because the dogs go in the kennel and, you know, it all adds up quickly. So, we were booked for, you know, the announcement for this trip came in January or something, and we were booked for the Galapagos in March already, and we had already paid and everything. And I said, you know, I've always wanted to be able to go to Egypt. You know, but it's been one of those dreams, like, you know, I don't know, that were seemed so impossible, in part because of the political situation in the Middle East over my whole adult life. So when I saw that trip, and so it was a few days, it was the way in total, you spent, you know, a few days in Israel, a few days in Jordan, and 3 days in Egypt. And it also included a small ship that sailed through the Suez Canal. I mean, it's the coolest trip. It was the coolest trip. And we do like a boat. Give us a river cruise and we, you know, or a boat of some kind. You know, all of our big trips except our safari in Tanzania has included some time on a boat, I think. That probably isn't true, but it could be true. It probably is true. But anyway, so this was a wonderful trip that came up, and I said to Dennis, I'm booking this trip, and I'm booking it, and we're going as soon as we can, because it was for the fall season. It didn't start until October or something, which might have to do with weather, or I don't know, whatever. Anyway, so and I said, and if they'll take me, I'm going, and we have to do it right away, because things can change, and they might take it off the itinerary, and then we will have missed it, and I will have missed my chance to go to Egypt. And so we went on that trip. And we ended up spending a day in Israel and a night in Tel Aviv, and took some tour around Israel. And then we were driven on the bus to the border with Jordan. We went through the West Bank, the occupied West Bank, to the border with that Jordan now defends. The occupied West Bank used to be Jordan, but it's not anymore, not under their control anymore. So we were taken by bus to the point where Israel turns over control to Jordan. And we had an Israeli trip leader, Joel, who was very nice. And he was on the bus with us, but once we stepped through outgoing customs in Israel, we were in no man's land, and he couldn't come with us. And so we had instructions to look for our bus and blah, 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 blah. Luckily, there was a woman who was the vice president in charge of Southern Europe and the Middle East of OAT on that part of our trip. She was very lovely, and her name just went out of my head. But she was very lovely. So it was nice for us, because I think she was taking that part of the trip to see how it worked, because usually we're not, you know, we're in, you know, under the eye when we're traveling of our trip leader, until they like drop us off at an international airport to come home, you know, that kind of thing. And they'd go as far as they can. Well, Joel went as far as he could, but he could not go through that border to that border crossing. So we ended up getting on a bus and driving 10 miles to another border crossing, which was then where Jordan took control of the ground. You know, Jordanian forces were now in control. This was the border that they controlled entry and exit from. And that was really interesting. And so then we were in Jordan, and we were in Jordan for I guess for 3 nights. And I think our trip leader was Ibrahim. And I feel terrible not remembering that because he was a lovely man. He was really great. And so we stayed at a resort in on the Dead Sea. And the Dead Sea was the coolest thing. I mean, you literally float on top. People die there because it's so weird, I guess they get overwhelmed or something, you know, so you can drown in it. I guess they lose a person or two every year. Why anybody's in there, I don't know. But it was really weird. I mean, if you were floating on your back, it felt like you had a pillow, like you were laying on one of those air mattresses with the pillow. That's what it felt like when you were just flat on the water. It was very weird. It was very weird. So that was, but it was a beautiful resort, move and pick. We had wonderful rooms, and the food was really good. It was Jordanian food and mostly buffet style. But at the hotel. But it had, you know, a pool, and it had you know, I mean, it's a Muslim country, but it had a bar. We were there sitting at an outdoor area, and a belly dancer came through, and apparently Queen Noor walked through, but I didn't see her. But that was the big news. There was a big scientific exposition at the hotel next door to us, and she was there to encourage the young scientists and stuff. And she's extremely, extremely popular. She was King Hussein's last wife, an American woman, and American-born woman, and she's still extremely, extremely popular with the people. And there are quite a few stories from that trip that are really nice. But I don't want this to be too long, and I am tired, so I'll try to write down where I was, because this was a really, really interesting trip. And the strange thing about this story is I didn't buy these earrings on that trip. But it made me think of it. So, I will pick up from the Dead Sea and Queen Noor on another day. But the Dead Sea's mud is famous for, like, its spa properties. I actually brought back Dead Sea mud in some packages that I put in the you know, packages I made for Christy and Allison a couple years ago, when I made them their bath mitts for Christmas and gave them a nice bowl with, you know, all kinds of stuff in it. My bath balm I made, I think, and lip balm, and I put in the Dead Sea mud and stuff. It was very cool. And it was a lovely place. So, Sammy turned 4 yesterday, and we got on Zoom. Christy set up a Zoom call, which was really sweet of her. And so all the grandparents were there, and Dennis's mom was there. His dad didn't come to get on. She had some technical difficulties, so we couldn't hear her half the time. But she got to see her, and we all sang happy birthday, and that was fun. She was wearing her princess dress, her Rapunzel princess dress, which she had worn to school. So she hadn't opened her presents yet, so she wasn't wearing her other princess dress. I hope she liked it. And so that was fun to see everybody. And then I found out that they live in Pinellas County, and Allison works in Pinellas County and not Monroe County or whatever stupid county Ocala is in, that guy is in charge of the sheriff's department. So I'm very glad she's not working for an idiot like that. So that was very good news. And that was about it. I had my knit night. I played poker during my knit night because I was playing poker. Played a little poker. Won my money back. That was a good thing. I would have done a lot better if I know better than to call. When they re-raise me all in, they always can beat me, and I know that. But I had the second best hand. Yeah. Possible. I had the second best hand possible. Guess who had the first best hand? Yeah. On that board, not in the whole game ever. Anyway, I did knit yesterday. I started putting the second ball in the in Ella's boxy. So I'm alternating skeins. I'm almost done with the first skein, and I'll just continue on with the second skein. I can't see any difference. You know, it doesn't look like it's striping in any way or funky in any way. So that's cool. And played some EverQuest and watched some news and played with my dogs, and who have not come out. Actually, Pearl led the way out here, but by the time, oh yeah, and she wiggled you, but she's not here anymore, and you didn't get a sighting today. I'm sorry. There's a bird in the deep background, but nobody much around. It's not beautiful today. It's very cloudy, and we're under a flood watch again. Did I tell you that? I could be repeating myself. I am tired. We're still under again. So we have this stall right. We're right at the edge of this weather stall that's putting a lot of rain in, I think, in Jersey, and keeping the rest of Pennsylvania all lovely. But we're right on that edge, and so we're gonna be, and apparently on the edge for the next couple days. So we're gonna be having thunderstorms. Pearl was not a happy camper. We ended up having to put her in her crate. She seemed happy about that, so I think we're gonna do that. She seemed much calmer, so I think we're gonna do that rather than leave it up to her what she's gonna try to find a place that she feels safe. I think she feels safe enough in the crate. It's covered with junk, but it's covered, so it's like a den. And she seemed pretty calm in there. She was laying down and not panting hard and stuff. So I think that's our solution. We had to do that with our Melly, but Melly was like violent. I mean, she would climb on you and like try to climb inside your body. I mean, she actually, you know, it was bad. Pearl yesterday, she felt better in the crate, so I think we'll be doing that. And we'll be having more today, so we're prepared for that. It's going to be cooler than it was yesterday. It was brutal, pretty brutal yesterday. Although once again, we sat out for a little while, but we needed our fan, and that worked. And we remembered to put it back in the house, so that was good. So today is muggy, and it's got a little bit of a breeze, and it's not going to be as hot, but it's not going to be lovely either. So I'll be in the house for the most part. I have a confession to make. I am wearing my sandals today. I'm just not walking very much, and my knee hasn't hurt for several days. Knock on wood. So, and I just don't want to put on my sneakers, but I will take Advil, and I'll be careful. And if I get any idea that the sandals were a mistake, I will change them. So this will definitely be a take it easy day. No energy in this department. Luckily, I have nothing I have to do. I did buy stuff for my mother-in-law the other day, but it's not perishable, and so probably won't go over tonight. I'm just not feeling it. But someday this weekend we'll be over playing cards and delivering her stuff. And that's that. I think Dennis is making pate today. He's trying to figure out how he can get organ meat in his diet without actually eating it or eating liver. So he's going to try to make a pate. So he's got the ingredients, and we'll see how that goes. I like pate well enough. Maybe we'll make some of our keto crackers. And that'll make it, you know, a real treat. So I will tell you about Jordan tomorrow. It was wonderful. It was amazing. Amazing. Oh, so this is like a cliffhanger. I'm leaving you a cliffhanger. Ha ha! Perils of Pauline. This is a cliffhanger. What's going to happen in the adventures in Jordan? I hope you're all well. I really, really hope you're staying safe and healthy. I hope you're sleeping. I do. I really hope you're sleeping. But, you know, if this is the only problem I'm having, I get it. I'm very lucky. I'm very, very lucky. There are plenty of people who aren't sleeping because they can't feed their kids and they're getting evicted. So, mine not sleeping because I'm an old lady who can't sleep. And it doesn't, and so I can take it easy the next day. I do know how lucky I am. And I'm lucky to have you guys in my life. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining me and having coffee with me. And I will see you tomorrow and tell you all about Amman and the River Jordan. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Stay safe and stay sane.